I'm just gonna walk her and get her in place, and then we can bring the guys in. She wants to see how much she's doing. Yeah. So it's a 3, have you ever been here? No. Anyone? So it's a 3 studio building. This one is really only used for lattery now. Oh, it's where's the Illinois lattery now? Oh, no way. You can tweak a little more once we get in here. Hey. Come on, come on. Bonnie! Hey!
Hello Dreamers, this is Toya Cross with andwepresent.com. We are sitting here in WGN Studios with producer Ms. Tyra Martin. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
With And We Present, we like to talk to those who aspire to do amazing things or to be amazing things. So a lot of people, they see you talking to celebrities, they hear the word producer, film producer, TV producer, and say, I want to do that, but don't really have an understanding of what it takes. So can you break that down for us and what you do on a day-to-day basis, the decision making and everything that goes into producing a segment?
As a producer, what I do is find stories, interesting content, or stories about people's lives or what's going on in the city specifically. Then once those guests get here, we have to write scripts and get video to support the segment and kind of package it and present it in a way that works for our audience.
You're a shot caller, you're a boss, and so many people aspire to have that title but don't understand the work that comes along with being a boss. How did you climb that ladder, and do you see that there's growth opportunities still for women in this industry, or is it stagnant? Has it progressed? Has it decreased? What do you think?
I think it's definitely grown, especially with the incorporation of, YouTube and webcasts and those kinds of things. You have an opportunity to be seen and heard and tell the stories that you want to tell, even if you can't get in with a network. And you have something to present to a network if you want to move on, other than nothing. Because if you couldn't get in a small market or you couldn't get in a bigger market, well, you got your reel from school. No, you can have a whole show. Yeah. I think people are finally starting to realize, and this is because they're doing their own writing, they're doing their own shooting, they're doing their own editing, is how much of what you see on camera, how much footwork has happened before that person gets in front.
Yes. Some people may have it misconstrued as to what news is and what news is supposed to represent. So can you get into a little bit about what you guys target as far as news content?
Well, like I said, it should be news. It should be new to you. It should be something that you didn't know already, or something that's not expected. The example I like to give, or the debate that I have to have most frequently, is with when the house music picnic here in Chicago rolls around every year. Yeah. It's a huge picnic, very peaceful picnic. It's all real grown-up grown people. And every year I get easily a dozen emails from people asking, well, you didn't report that there were no fights. Well, people aren't supposed to fight at a picnic. It's news if you cut up. We're not supposed to fight. We're not supposed to do things. We are supposed to be civil and nonviolent. So because violence doesn't break out somewhere, that's not news. News should be something that you don't know, or something that will change your perspective on something that you do already know.
With WGN, and it's still number one. It was still number one. The thing that it brings is it has a news aspect, but it's so fun. It has a quirky presence to it as well. So how much of your personality as a producer and juggling all these different personalities goes into your work?
The benefit is that most of the team has been here since the start of the morning show. In June, I'll have been with this show for 16 years. So we all have kind of grown up over the last 2 decades, really, and we're all the same people. We are goofy and silly and ignorant. It's us. Mm-hmm. And so I like that we're all comfortable enough for our personalities to come through in the work that we do, and it's really a huge blessing to be able to work in a way where you can be yourself, and you don't have to change your personality, and it becomes part of your job.
If you have a certain opinion about something, do you struggle with, okay, but I'm still representing this WGN brand, it's not just Tyra?
Oh yeah. It can't just be what I like or what I think is interesting, or movies and music that I like. I have to book for the audience, not for me.
So with people to people, are you able to get more of, I know it's community focused, so you're able to dive a little bit deeper into certain topics and highlight certain things. Can you speak more?
Yeah, the great part about People to People is it gives me an opportunity to let people tell their full story. In the morning, segments don't go longer than 3 or 4 minutes. So People to People, I have the half hour to do whatever I want. And people just get to talk. Like, I get a 12-minute segment, which is crazy. But it gives people enough time to really tell their story. So it's not like you feel like as soon as you get into it or as soon as the guest relaxes, that it's over.
What was one of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome in order to be able to sit in that room and have a microphone and talk to these people and share stories?
You know, it was hustling and opportunity. And what they say, don't stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yes.
I started out as a writing intern. When I started, I was coming in 2 o'clock in the morning to write. And the show at the time was over at 9. But I would stay and ask people on the news desk if they needed help, ask to go out with reporters, and that was after my shift was over.
Do you see that same hustle and grind in young journalists or young media aspirers today?
You know what, sometimes I do, and that's just either the way people were, you know, how they were raised, or not, but I blame, there's not the same hustle.
Right.
And I blame reality TV. And they see these people that look like them and are from their peer group, and, you know, they bounce into some newsroom or some TV studio and ends up on TV. No, that does not happen in real life.
So how much research goes into your everyday, just, you know, for producing the different segments here at WGN?
A lot of it is online now. I still read newspapers. You can't be limited to your perspective and your story. My history and, you know, what got me to this building is mine, and so I see things like I do, or, you know, hear stories the way I hear them through my ears. But other people have different experiences, and it's a lot of bad email reading, a lot of bad phone call taking, but I always say I'd rather go give 100 no's, 99 no's to get to the 100, and it's a yes.
What gives that yes?
What I need to hear for a yes is a pitch that speaks to, not to me, but to my audience. I'm hard, people will tell you. I can be a little hard, but if there's a typo, out. You don't even care enough to spell check your press release? Delete, I don't care. You don't care, I don't care.
So what would be 3 challenges that you would present those who may aspire to become a producer or to just enter the media industry?
I would say you really got to identify not just what you want to do, but what you're good at doing. You really have to try to develop, if you want a career besides other than a job, you've got to work your career into what you're really good at. The second thing is you really can't give up. I know it sounds so cheesy. No, don't give up, hang in there. But it's true. I'll tell you this, when I was hired out of the internship, the woman that was the assistant news director at the time did not want to hire me. The news director loved me because, you know, I'm lovable. But the assistant news director did not like me, didn't want me here, said she needs to go to a small market first. And so I had to work twice as hard for twice as long. It's the same speech that every black mother has given their children, twice as hard, twice as long to get half as far. And so you really have to mean it when you say you want to do something. You can't quit. And there will be more no's than yeses, but you take the no and you keep moving. And the third thing, be flexible, be ready all the time. When you get that opportunity, use it, hustle. If you get an internship, work it like it's the job that's feeding you. You've got to be ready. You've got to know what the job entails and be ready to take that on. There's a real sharp learning curve in TV, and it's baptism by fire, and you got to be willing to get in the fire. Hey, what's up? You are on andwepresent.com. I'm Tyra Martin with WGN. Stick with us.